Okay, let's start with the session. In previous sessions, we were all discussing the banking institutions as a part of financial institutions. So we all discussed with the different types of commercial banks, okay, which are existing in Indian banking system. So we have public sector banks. We have discussed with respect to public sector banks. We have discussed with the private sector banks, and we have discussed with rural regional rural banks existence in India. So now, which is another one of the major element in terms of banking system of our country is foreign banks. So foreign banks is the headquarters of this bank, so the head office of this bank is located in foreign country, and they do have banks established in foreign countries. Say example, if SBI is a nationalized bank of our country, if it is having a branch in US, then the SBI bank is foreign country for the people who are settled in US, or for the public of US, the SBI bank is a foreign bank. Okay, the same wise, so now it's a bank which has to follow the regulations of two different countries. One is the host country and one is the branch country. Okay, so let's see detail and study what actually foreign banking is all about. Okay, okay. So as I was discussing, a bank is a type of bank that is obligated to follow the regulations of both the home and host countries. Our banks often open a branch of foreign branch in order to provide more services to their multinational corporations. So it's having your bank branches in different nations, multinational activities. The bank is going to establish its functioning in terms of banking. So it is going to establish itself in different countries, not only the host country. So this is a type. That's what the example is. The another example is, if a Bank of America, which is the Bank of America, which is the host of the headquarters of this bank is in US. If it is having branch, excuse me. Yeah. So if a Bank of America opens a branch in India, then the Bank of America for Indians, it is a foreign bank because its host country is in US, not in India. So the same way, it has to follow. As we were discussing earlier, every country, when it comes to a banking institution, and in terms of regulatory act, like regulatory perspective, each country would be having its central bank. In India, we have RBI. Okay, and even the US, it has a central bank. So the bank which is establishing in both US and India, so it has to follow the regulations of both the countries with respect to the banking system what is existing in that different countries. Okay, so it is obligated to follow the regulations, the conditions, the restrictions with respect to banking activities of both the countries. Okay, yeah, so this is the main condition. Yeah, so operating of financial foreign bank is quite complicated because it has to follow dual banking regulations, that with respect to host country and the branch country where it actually holds its branch. Okay, moving ahead. Okay, currently, so the existence of foreign bank in India is before we are into a freedom. Okay, so post pre-freedom also we see an existence in terms of foreign banks. It is from the year 1860s. Okay, let's see. Okay, and currently in India we see around 46 foreign banks existing or functioning as foreign banks. They do have a branches. It is I think 200 plus branches to together 46 foreign banks existing in India. Okay, so list of foreign banks. So these are the few foreign banks which are majorly established themselves as a branch or a foreign bank in India. Naming them is these are few. There are total 46 foreign banks existing in India. The first one is Citibank. The host country is USA. Royal Bank of Scotland. Host country is UK. Standard Chartered Bank is in the host country is UK again. The Barclays Bank is host country is again UK. Credit Suisse AG, the host country is Switzerland. DBS Bank is host country with Singapore. Deutsche Bank with the host country Germany. HSBC is pertain to Hong Kong. JP Morgan Chase Bank pertain to USA. And United Overseas Bank is with respect to Singapore. These are the few I've just got because, as I mentioned earlier, there are a few more banks which are existing in India. These are for our just understanding. Okay. So, when it comes to history of foreign banking, foreign banks have started them arriving in India in the year 1860s. First, we have one Paris Bank. I'm really not sure because that is written in Spanish. Sorry, that is written in French, so I'm not able to pronounce it. So, mainly for our understanding, we can consider it as there is a French bank which has established its branch in Calcutta in the year 1860s, and another in one in Calcutta, one in Bombay, and one in Madras, and one in Pondicherry. Then a French colony followed. Okay, so this was a French based bank which has established its around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 branches in India during 1860s. Okay, and then HSBC, that's what Hong Kong Shanghai Banking Corporation, that's what we discussed earlier. This HSBC Limited, Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation Limited. So this established itself in Bengal in 1869. Calcutta was the most attractive trading port. It is due to British. There was a British Empire established in Calcutta. So that was that is the main during pre-freedom we had. That's what there was an empire established in India with this, with British people. So they were most attracted. They were the one who got foreign banks in India, and so that was the trading in terms of was more towards or more located in Calcutta. So all the banks were attracted in the Calcutta city during that time. Then moving ahead, Standard Chartered Bank established in the year 1859, and then the Citibank in 1902. So similarly, okay, Hong Kong established, and okay, similarly Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation started functioning in India since 1953. It has established in 1869, but functioning has started in the year 1953. At the time of bank nationalization in 1969, we know the history of banking system in India. So we have, as a public sector, where the government has taken a decision of nationalization, we're converting private banks into private banks into an public bank. So during that time, the entry of foreign banks in India was banned. Okay, for certain reasons it was banned, but somewhere let's not dig into much in the deep. Okay, so it was banned during the nationalization, but later on during 1980s, the ban was lifted due to the policy of globalization and economic policies. So we now there was a globalization policy introduced in India, which has created an environment where we can get in connection with different countries in order in the purpose of trade, economy, and the multicultural aspects, which we can get connected through the worldwide. So this was a policy being introduced during this time. Somewhere it was encouragement for the foreign banks or the say international banks to open up their branches in India. At present, almost international, so now there is a considering that almost all international banks are operating in India. Okay, so that's what so it is, we see a history or an existence of foreign banks from 18th century. It is during 1860s where we had a first foreign bank in Calcutta. Then it starts its functioning one by one, started establishing itself in the Indian sit Indian country, so our own country. Then we saw there was a lift in terms of foreign banks entry in our country during 1980. Okay, but sorry, during 1969, during nationalization there was a lift in terms, so there was a ban in terms of foreign banks entry in India, but there was that ban got relaxed in the year 1980 with the globalization policies and few economic policies which helped or which encouraged in terms of entry of international banks in India. Okay, this was all about the history of foreign banking. So how the foreign banks are establishing themselves in India is based on mode of three modes it can be entered. See guys, I'm not able to, I mean, I'm not I don't want to explain it in detail. I just want to give it now just points is about we foreign bank can establish in India in three different ways. If I go into deep in detail with this point, because every set of entry has different restrictions from the RBI. Okay, so that's why I'll just mention these are the three ways about foreign bank can establish in India. Okay, so one is branch office, second one is company, and the third one is representative office or liaison officer. Every three mode of entry of foreign bank has different restrictions, conditions, and all the basic structure of the banking functioning. So everything is in detail. Let's not go into that. So it is just for our understanding. There are three ways, or there are three systems where you can establish ourselves as a foreign bank. One is a branch officer. Second one is we can establish as a bank registering in Companies Act, and then we have to register as a representative office or liaison office. So if any entry foreign bank or any foreign bank which is establishing its branch in different countries, it has to first get a permission, or say get a license from that particular central bank of that particular country. So in India, if any foreign bank has to register in India, it has to get a license from under banking laws Act and RBI Act 1935. Okay, so this is the minimum expectations or minimum conditions for a foreign bank to establish itself. So how it can establish is, there are three modes of entry into a country where they can establish itself as a branch office or a company